Dear students, yesterday we have completed regarding the PN junctions. I have told you how the depletion layer is going to be reduced. Then easily the conventional current can flow or the drift current can easily be exist. But whenever the PN junction is said to be forward biased, then we are getting the drift current according to our requirements. But when the PN junction is reverse biased, the P type of materials and N type of material connected with the opposite to the polarities, the negative polarity of the battery is connected to the P type materials, positively connected to N type, that produces the reverse biasing currents along with the diffusion current itself, neutralizing the depletion of junction points. That already we have been discussed. And PN junction, how it can be connected as a forward biased and reverse biased. I will show you with a circuit diagram. Today let us know that about the VI, the voltage current characteristics of PN junctions. That remember the PN junction itself, as you are writing like this is the symbolic representations. Okay, with having very unbiased one, we are giving a layer like that. Followed? Let us see. So that is, remember the symbolic representation can be given like this. That means we can say this is the majority carrier, this is the minority carrier. So we can represent this the anode, it is the cathode now. So you can represent this one as this as a symbolic representation with having the two polarity, one is anode, other is cathode. Let us see with respect to my subject is concerned what I am going to start, the VI characteristics of PN junction. Then how can we represent these graphs? In the graphic representation, how can we represent the forward biasing current and reverse biasing currents? Let us see now. This is the PN junction diode. Let it be connected by this circuit as usual. It is with respect to forward biasing mode. That means remember the minus polarity and plus polarity of the supply here. Plus polarity you see connected to here. Minus polarity is connected to your cathode. Accordingly, you can say that it will be act as a forward biased devices. As long as it is a forward biased, you can see that the graph can be represented. You see now, I am connecting this diode with respect to a voltmeters. Along the circuit, I am connecting a milliammeter. Then if you have to represent the current, it has to represent the voltage along with a resistance, and the rheostat is connected here because at a time whole voltage will not be applied. Some part of the voltage is going to apply of that one. Serially, you are going to develop the supplies, and likewise you will get the different currents. In this ammeter reading you can get back. That remember, first of all remember I am taking the graph of this at a time both the forward biasing and reverse biasing cases. I am taking only one graph. Let us see in the horizontal axis or the axis I am taking the voltage, and also I am taking the voltage in this axis, current is in this axis. You remember now, the current in the above I am taking in milliampere because I have dealt with the forward biasing mode. But in the reverse biasing this one, current flows in just opposite. With respect to this one, you can say according to graph you see, this is the graph showing like that. At this point you see it arises a knee voltage. That what is the knee voltage? The voltage at which the currents initially, remember what does it mean? Initially the flow of conventional current or drift current is very small. Then remember, as long as the layer is going to depletion, layer is going to be reduced due to application of this voltage, I can say that immediately the current is rise up. The conventional current is rise up suddenly. Let you see this one, this is the graph I am showing. Up to this is, it is minimum. Then the current is establishing as per the depletion layer going to be reduced. And the resistance between the depletion layer or the overcoming the barrier potential easily can take place. Once you can remember, when the PN junction is unbiased, depletion layer cannot have a power by the barrier potential cannot flow the conventional currents. If it is going to biasing by means of supply voltage connecting to the PN junction diode, then and there the biasing starts. At the forward biasing, depletion layer is squeezed out. As long as the depletion is squeezed out, the barrier potential going to be overcome. Because the barrier potential is going to overcome by our supply voltage, then and there easily the conventional current can flow, and up to the knee voltage immediately the current will not be rise up. First slowly the current is rising up, then suddenly going to be rise up in case of forward biasing position. This part in the first quadrant is relating with respect to forward biasing. In case of this, come to the third quadrant, you know that if the current is in microampere and if very little bit current is flowing in there, then this is the voltage as usual. You can see here, just to remember, with rising 0.4 volt, 0.8 volt, 1.2 volt like this going on with respect to forward biasing. In case of reverse biasing, 5 volt, 10 volt, 15 volt, then the current immediately going on to little bit current is flowing, that is called reverse biasing current. The point at which the current starts to flow and remaining constants is called the saturation point. This is the saturation point. This is where the breakdown starts. Breakdown for voltage regulator, you are using this principle. At this point, the breakdown voltage takes place, and the initially remember just approximately the current is always remains to be always rising up. That is remember with respect to VI characteristics of a forward biasing and reverse biasing. Just to see what is the difference of these two circuits. It is with respect to reverse biasing, it is with respect to forward biasing. Either you can change the polarity of the diode, two possibilities there. Either any one. Either you can change the polarity of the diode or you can change the polarity of a battery. Don't change the both. If remember the battery source is as usual by means of rheostat and connected, only I am changing here the polarity of the diode. But here you can see if the diode polarity were not changing, you may change this one. If you are going to change also that after the reverse biasing, so breakdown occurs in a reverse biasing position, and in case of forward biasing position, at the point of knee voltage current starts to develop. Hence this is useful practically in our cases. Let us see, accordingly they will ask you the question like that. What is VI characteristic of PN junction diode? Draw the graph, represent the knee voltage and saturation currents where the breakdown starts. So these are the actual, my motto is that how your PN junction is represented with respect to the graph by the voltage and current relationship. That you have to do. Let us see now. But my motto is that today class is that we have to use like this. The PN junction having the various applications we have, various applications. PN junction used as a rectifier. PN junction used as also two PN junction is connecting, they are getting the transistor. So in semiconductor industries, vast application is there when the integrated circuit not come to pictures. Then you can see just before that, PN, one of the application, my motto is that the concept is that you have to clear PN junction act as a rectifier. How it is, remember now. Let us see first of all, these are the components I have taken as per the connection. You see now, the diode is connected along with the conductive path, it is load resistors. Then here you can see this is the transformer, on which either the step up or step down. I am using the step up transformer here. Let us see here. Once this is the source, input source we are applying, which is having a transformer. This is the primary cell, it is the secondary cell. So remember, are the A and B and P and Q are two polarity taken, RS are the polarity taken, on which I have to measure the output voltage. One more thing just to remember, when this part is positive with respect to Q, if P is positive with respect to Q, what will happen? The diode will be forward biased, because you see the plus polarity connected to P side, and you can say the minus side is connected to the N side. So you can say it is called anode, it is called cathode of the two polarity of the diode. As long as the current starts to flow and coming through this one, obeying the Ohm's law, some current is going to flow across this one, then there is a voltage drop. That voltage you have to take, the V0 is the output voltage, as per the input voltage you are supplying. Let us see now. Accordingly, remember, if you take a graph, suppose this is the input supply voltage, it is a sine wave, sinusoidal wave. You can see that this voltage we are taking in this axis with respect to time taken. So remember, this is one complete cycle, this is another cycle. Time taken to complete this cycle is called the time period, which relating with respect to frequency. This is the input you are supplying at the primary of the transformer. Then after step down to this one, you will get the low value of the output voltage of the secondary, that is feeding to your diodes. Then the function of a diode is to convert this one for positive half cycle. P is positive with respect to Q, so the diode is conducting, so that will be represented in the output here, you know, what you are getting back. The waveform you can get back here. Like this, only the positive half cycle you can get back. Input side, both the cycles are present, but here only the positive half cycle is present. For positive half cycle of the first cycle, remember, it is one cycle. For the positive half cycle, diode is conductive. For the negative half cycle, diode is never conducts. Why? Because this P is positive, negative with respect to Q, so the reverse biasing takes place. For the reverse biasing mode, it is not useful. For forward biasing mode, it is useful. Hence, you are getting the positive, all positive half cycles you are getting at the output mode. Mathematically, remember, how can you classify this one? You see, these are the positive cycles you are getting back like this, with absence of all the negative, absence of this one. Absence of this one. We never get back the negative cycle because diode is not conducting. What does it mean now? We come to know that diode is operating and it is in unidirectional device as long as the anode is positive with respect to cathode. If the cathode is positive with respect to anode, the depletion weighting is narrow. It is going to be more, so that more resistance will be on the depletion layer. It is very difficult to overcome the barrier potential and it never be conducts. So the note you have to put in your mind that diode is only conducting when anode is positive with respect to cathode, so that only in forward biasing mode diode can be operative as a rectifier. You see now, these are the pulsating nature of waveform you are getting. For the demerit there, are you getting the exact DC? You never get the exact DC, because only positive half cycle you are getting the pulsating nature of waveform. Once again, if you use the filter circuit, then this pulsating positive half cycle, the ripples would be omitted, you will get the DC. So number of stages of filter circuit you are employed at the output is one of the disadvantage to get back the pure DC. But here you remember one more thing. If you are using a transformer for this purpose, rectifier circuit you are using by diode, no need to, you never get back any shock in this side. In output side you never get any shock. When you are measuring these two polarities by the voltage to get back the outputs, that is one of the advantages for you. That you remember that. So it will be only operative in case of a positive half cycle. Hence it is called a unidirectional device. This pulsating nature, once again you can get back to pure DC with avoiding to the ripple existence of frequency by applying to the different stages of filter circuit. Another, mathematically you remember what is called you know that, what is our motto? What is the efficiency of the half wave rectifier? Remember now, PN junction attach a rectifier. It is called half wave. For the positive half cycle only it is conducting, hence it is called half wave rectifier. So how many diodes were you employing in half wave rectifier? Only one diode were employing, so that for positive half cycle only it present at the output. Then you remember, on this remember what is the efficiency actually? How much part of the percentage is going to do part to get back the efficiency? You remember that the output divided by output power divided by input power. Power output by power input, power output divided by power input is called your efficiency. Efficiency is equal to power output by power input. So let us see, before going to find the power according to Ohm's law, P is equal to VI, or you can say I square R, or is equal to V square by R. Mathematically already I have told you in the Ohm's law verification. There remember now, I average should be takes place, that is called, remember, which is called IDC, present in the output side, IDC. What part of IDC current is flow through this load resistor? That is equal to 1 by T, the integration 0 to T by 2 for half cycle, V naught sine omega T, which is the sine wave divided by the total resistance along the circuit. The internal resistance of the diode is RL, and you can say load resistance is RL. Both resistors are in series, so that we can say the V naught sine omega T divided by RF plus RL. We are getting this current, the average current, to integrate from 0 to T by 2, so that you can see this V naught and you can say RF RL, all are the constant term. Take V naught by T into RF RL to the output side. Then what is the integration of sine omega T? The integration of sine omega T, let omega T is equal to theta, so you can say that is called V naught, you can say minus cos omega T, represented from 0 to T by 2. So that you are getting, this is called, put the value of T by 2, then you know that omega T is equal to 2 pi, so that is called, because T is equal to 1 by F, or F is equal to 1 by T, I naught is equal to V naught by RF plus RL. This is the output current you are getting. That output current is equal to, remember, we are now getting minus cos pi. Cos pi is equal to minus 1, minus of minus 1 become plus 1. Then remember, here you can say this is called cos 0 is equal to 1, 2 you are getting. Hence you can say I naught by pi is called the I average. So that, remember, P, that is called output power, is equal to, you can get back the, in represent this one, the P input also you can evaluate, that is IRMS into RF plus RL. It will be represented that I naught by 2 rho square into RF plus RL. That is, remember, as you got the power output by input, you have to represent what is the efficiency now. The efficiency is equal to, you can get back. The efficiency you can get back like this, remember. For the half of rectifier, for efficiency is equal to, you can get back, the efficiency is equal to P output divided by P input, which is called, remember, you can write down yourself practically, I have already calculated, that is called, remember, 0.406, 0.406 divided by RL plus RF you are getting. It is the internal resistance of the diode, it is the load resistance you are connecting. Hence, remember, accordingly you can say, how to remember that load resistance is very high than the internal resistance of the diode. This implies I can say the output is equal to, output by input is equal to, we can get back that if you are a technician, then 40.6% you are getting. The efficiency is equal to 40.6% you are getting. That you remember that the total output by input is equal to, you can write down yourself with respect to 4 by pi square, that is called, we are getting 4 by pi square into, you can say, RL divided by RL plus RF. So that you can evaluate that through this one. So which is represent you, that is the 40.6% of the input that can be utilized and converting to the pulsating nature of waveform. As long as, remember, if you are going to take it the consideration of which one? If you are going to take the consideration of PN junction diode used as a full wave rectifier, you have to remember how can you represent this one. So you can represent like this. Now you are getting the efficiency is equal to 40.6% in case of a half wave rectifier if you are employing a single diode. But remember, if you saw, you are going to how the PN junction diode used as full wave rectifier. How can you employ the both cycles? For this purpose, what to do? Let us see. I am going to take a transformer. Let this one. Let us see. Take a secondary of this one with having chokes. Let remember this is called the input supply. Then at there, what to do? Let you connect by means of two diodes. Okay. Let these are the two diodes I am connecting. Then what to do? Here, after taking the two diodes into consideration, you have to represent yourself like that. Just to see, this can be employed with respect to a load resistor. Let them taking like that. Follow? Let us see what the voltage should be supplied now. This is the input voltage, and here you can take the output. You can take from the load resistor. Sometimes what happened? You see now. What about this? Either you can modify the circuit also in different mode. How can you replace this one? Either you can take from here, or somebody can take like this, with having a load resistor. Follow? But you see now, you can take like this, then output should be represented from here. Output should be represented from here. But you see now, in these cases, basically you can take it center tapped, or you can say the full wave rectifier also classified to two categories. One is with respect to from center you can take, either this you can take, or you must not take this part. You see now what I am doing. Two diodes are employed with respect to center in this one of this secondary transformer with a load resistors. Then remember, omit these. You omit all these. Then what happened now? You can see that whenever the output of the voltage this is the output, this is the input you are supplying V in, this is the V out you can get back from this polarity. You can see now here, how can you get back? Whenever this you are getting A, let it be B, let it be C. For the positive half cycle, the A is positive with respect to B. Comparatively, A is positive with respect to this one. So that the current is flowed in like this. It comes through the diode D1, then the diode D2 will be off. Let us see now. For the positive half cycle, D1 is conducting for the where the voltage drop will take place to the RL. So that RL you can measure, you can get the positive half cycle in case of a rectified version with omitting some frequency parts. That you remember now, the input is called like this we are getting. Remember, the input is called sine wave. Follow? Like this we are getting. The output you can get for the positive half cycle, for the negative half cycle. Also remember, both are representing. What does it mean now? D1 is conducting for the positive half cycle, D2 is said to be off. For the negative half cycle, D1 is of D2 is conducting, vice versa. At the same, remember, you can say when this is positive with respect to this, current starts to flow like this. Remember, for the first half cycle, current flow like this. For the second half cycle, current flow like this. What does it mean now? You come to know that one among the diode is conducting for the positive half cycle, D1 is said to be conducting, and D2 is of for the second half cycle, D1 never conduct, D2 is conducting. So both cycle will be represented like this. But if you go to the mathematical derivation of this one, you can see that how to find this one. You see, you can find with respect to the mathematical derivation, the P output can be taken from the load resistor, P inputs taken from here, so that you have to represent like this. Just easily you can find out the efficiency of a full wave rectifier. Then you can see the full wave rectifier as employed by two diodes. We can say that is called the efficiency is equal to, you can say, the P output divided by P input. So remember, what is P output now? We can see that in case of full wave rectifier, the defined part what is called IDC. That IDC is equal to itself is I average. That is equal to 1 by T by 2. Then you can say 0 to T by 2. Okay, that is called V naught sin omega t divided by RL plus RL, then into dt, which is called, remember, you can get back to V naught by T into RL plus RL whole minus cos omega t divided by W. So T to the 0 to the power T by 2, you can get back with respect to, that is called 2I naught by pi. 2I naught by pi you can get back. This is called the P average. So PDC, remember IDC this one, this IDC is equal to, remember, for getting the output. So input you can find out that input is equal to, similarly, what is the input now? The input is equal to, you can see, the PSC are the input, which is called, you can say, I RMS square into RF plus RF, RF plus RF. So take the ratio of both, so that you can get back. PRMS is equal to, remember, that is called I naught by rho 2 into RF plus RF. Take the ratio of both. So efficiency is equal to PDC by PSC. That is, remember, you can get back the formula with respect to this integration circuit. After doing the integration, you can get back that the 8 by pi square, this is equal to, you get 8 by pi square into RF divided by RL divided by RF plus RL, which is nothing but called, which is called evaluated already, 0.812 divided by 1 plus RF by RL, which is nothing but called 81.2%. What does it mean now? The efficiency of the half wave rectifier is 40.6% of the input and the input power, whereas 81.2% is the twice of the half wave rectifier efficiency or getting the full wave rectifier. Full wave rectifiers are two types. One is called center tap full wave rectifier, other is called bridge rectifier. Bridge rectifier can be employed with having a bridge circuit with by means of 4 diodes. So that, remember, the assignment are there. What is full wave rectifiers and how it full wave rectifier designed by means of circuit diagram, write down its application, how it is converted from the alternating source to the pulsating nature of a waveform, then state and explain the full wave rectifier and find out the efficiency of both half wave and full wave rectifiers. Thirdly, you have to write down some multiple choice questions. I have to send it 10 to 20 questions on the WhatsApp. Try to give the answer on that. If in doubt, you can ask me in the next class with respect to full wave rectifier and center tap full wave rectifier and half wave rectifier. Bridge rectifier not in your syllabus. If needed, you may ask me. I can also clarify that. Thank you. Have a good day, dear students.